Well, hi, it's Ricky. And last night I had this men's session, the session with men. And this, I was talking about, being caught in these ugly places with fear and anger and sadness and stuff, loneliness. And this one guy said, how come, what's keeping you back from just turning the corner and going to your inspired parts? And it really helped. And so this morning I was playing a game. I love games, a play, and with some friends of mine. And I want to tell you about it. I learned it. It's called Hot Seat. And one person's on the hot seat, and the other people around, they get to ask a question. And the person on the hot seat has three choices: lie, tell the truth, or pass. And it was riotous. And it's like we all lie. And thank God we lie. If somebody comes and says, I want to kill Rick Gagey, then I hope somebody can lie and say, hey, you went that way. I think I've said this before. But I was just thinking about how great it is to have pals. And then that got me thinking about, okay, I remember a story, and this guy is one of my heroes. And I think his name was Loui or Benny or something like that. And he lived in the Bronx, and he was a counterman. Like he sliced, corned beef and made sandwiches and made pickles and sausages and salami and stuff like that. And he got to be pretty old, and somehow the only place that he could live in was a really bad nursing home, and he was miserable and just like bummed out and surrounded by old people and no life, and the food was like cardboard and so he had a niece who found him and said, hey, we're out of here. And I don't know, I hope she kidnapped him. And she was a young hippie, and she had found her way to this commune that had been formed in Tennessee. It was called The Farm, and I understand it may still be going. And marvelous place. And it started off, I think, in San Francisco, and a guy called Stephen Gaston was the head at the time of, like he was the focus. He got people motivated to buy old school buses. And they went touring around in this big caravan all over the country. There must have been middle-class kids who could afford gas. And they found this property in Tennessee, and they made up rules. And, I think Stephen probably got to think that he was king for a while. But anyway, they started this place up, and it was working. Some people worked out in the local community, carpenters, cooks, bookkeepers, whatever. But they brought home the money, and they gave it to the people who were working at home. They made a cookbook, and here was a recipe with this guy's Louis or Benny or whatever his name was. It was his recipe for pickles, and it makes good pickles. I've used it. And this commune was really important to me because they took a stand and they said, abortion is tough on the woman, and it's tough on the kid who is trying to come in. And instead of just pointing fingers and screwing up like a lot of people are anti-abortionists and stuff, and they polarized it, these folks said, okay, we'll do something about it. And they put the word out, and they said, okay, if there are any pregnant people and they know they can't look after the kid and the kid would have a terrible life, come here and we'll help you have the kid. And if you're welcome to stay here, with your kid, or you can go ahead and have your life without the kid. And I thought, that's the kind of thing I can support. Like I know I've never in this lifetime had an abortion, but I've known lots of people who have. And I've talked to a lot of souls who've been aborted. And I've talked to a lot of people whose mothers had lots of abortions. And it's a tough option. No blame, but a very tough option. And so it was like really pleased me that I saw these people were actually doing something about it. So that's my story about my hero, Loui or Benny or whatever it is, and about the farm. So thanks a lot. Bye. Make your own videos.